Good day, students. Welcome to Mathgotservedcom. And this clip, we're going to be going over section 5.2 of our virtual geometry text on quadrilaterals. We're going to take a look at how to use the angle sum property of quadrilaterals to solve problems involving quadrilaterals. For example, take a look at this problem we have here. This is something like what we're going to be looking at in this presentation. You're to solve for the value of x in this quadrilateral presented. Don't forget, we have 5 practice problems at the end of this presentation that we'd like you to try out in order to demonstrate mastery of the contents of this tutorial. To gain access to our entire geometry course, Algebra 1, 2, Pre-Calc, and Calculus, take a look at the links in the description below or visit our website at Mathgotservedcom. Alright, before we get started with some examples, let's take a look at what the the angle sum property of quadrilaterals is. Alright, so this is our website, mathgotservedcom/geometry. So let's scroll down. So we have the vocab section, theorem and postulates and formulas. Let's go back to theorems and postulates. So we're looking at number 5. So number 5 is the angle sum property of quadrilaterals. This is what we're going to be using for this presentation, all right? So the property basically says that the sum of angles in a quadrilateral is 360 degrees, as indicated in this equation here. Measure of angle A plus B plus C plus D is 360. And if we think about it, this is connected to the triangle angle sum theorem, all right? The triangle angle sum theorem says that the sum of angles in a triangle is 180. So if you take a look at this quadrilateral, you can split it into 2 triangles. So triangle ABC is 180, triangle ACD is 180. So if you add those 2 together, guess what? You end up with the angle sum property of quadrilaterals. So this is basically 2 triangle angle sum properties combined together, okay? All right, now let's take a look at some examples. All right, so for questions 1 to 4, we're going to be solving for x. So let's take a look at question number 1. So for question 1, let's say we have quadrilateral A, B, C, D. All right, and then angle B is unknown as x. Angle A is 86 degrees. Angle D is 105 and angle C is 64 degrees. Okay, so the task here is to find x. So let's go ahead and find x. So what we're going to do first, let's go ahead and write down the formula that's going to guide our problem solving process. In this case, we're looking at the angle sum property of quadrilaterals. So if we apply it here, we're going to have the measure of angle A plus the measure of angle B plus the measure of angle C plus the measure of angle D is equal to what? Is equal to 360 degrees. Bam, all right? So we just substitute. Measure of angle A is 86, so 86 plus measure of angle B is x. 86 plus x plus 64 plus 105. These are the sum of the interior angles is equal to 360 degrees. Okay, so now what we have is an algebraic equation. We're now going to solve it using our algebra skills. We're going to proceed by combining the like terms on the left side. So we're going to combine these constants. On the left side, 86, 64, and 105. Let's add it all up. All right, if we add them all together, that would give us 255. So x plus 255 is equal to 360. All right, so if we want to get x by itself, all we just simply do to accomplish that is subtract 255 from both sides of the equation. This is Algebra 1 skills that we're using right here. Subtract 255 from both sides of the equation, and we will be done. If you do that, we're going to get x is equal to 105. You do the subtraction. So 10, 5, 5, 0, 1, 105 is the value of x. Okay. All right, let's take a look at number 2. We're going to apply the angle sum property of quadrilaterals here. So let's just put in the measures. So let's say this is x and this is 98. degrees, and this is 102 degrees, and this is 58 degrees. Okay, so using the triangle angle sum property, we can just, the angle sum property of quadrilaterals, I keep mixing those up. We can just jump right to an equation. We know from the angle sum property of quadrilaterals that if we add all the angles together, so x plus 98 plus 102 plus 58, if we add all that together, guess what? We're going to get 360. Okay, we already talked about that before. So what we're going to do now is we're going to proceed to add up, combine the like terms on the left side of the equation. So the constants, 98 plus 102 plus 58, we're going to combine that. So x plus, let's go ahead and add those three numbers. If we add all that together, we end up with 258. Okay, that's equal to 360. Now to get x by itself, what do? We subtract 258 from both sides of the equation. Subtract 258, and that will give us our final answer. X is equal to, so 10, you can borrow one from here, 10 minus 8 is 2, and then 5 minus 5 is 0, 3 minus 2 is 1. So for question number 2, x is 102. All right, let's take a look at number 3. So for question number 3, let's say this is 91 degrees, and this is 83 degrees, and this right here is 47x plus 2. Okay, so we want to figure out what x is in this equation. So what we're going to do is we're going to proceed by applying the angle sum property of quadrilaterals here. So we have 91. Let's start with the algebraic expression. 47x plus 2 plus 83 plus 91 plus, what is this right here? This, ladies and gentlemen, is a right angle. And what is the measure of right angles? 90 degrees. Okay, so don't forget. So this is 90. All of them together, according to the angle sum property of quadrilaterals, is 360. So we're going to solve this resulting algebraic equation. We bring down 47x, and then we're going to combine the constants, okay? 2 plus 83 plus 91 plus 90. Let's go ahead and add all that together. So we add all that together, we get, what do we get? We get 266 equals 360. Okay, so now how do we solve the resulting algebraic equation? How do we solve this? We have two more steps to go, okay? So we're gonna get rid of 266 first and then 47. Since this is plus 266, we're gonna use the inverse of addition, which is subtraction. So we subtract 266 from both sides of the equation. And then we have 47x is equal to, and then when you subtract, so let's do the calculations here. This is 5, carry 1. 10 minus 6 is 4. And then this is 5. You can't take 6 out of there, so you borrow 1 from 3. 15 minus 6 is 9, so you have 94. Okay, so to finish this off, we just simply get rid of the coefficient of 47. We divide both sides of the equation by 47. And then we end up with the final answer, x is equal to 2. That is the answer to question number 3. Okay? All right, let's take a look at question number 4. So for question number 4, let's say we have a quadrilateral with the following measures. This is 7x plus 17. This is 115 degrees, 75 degrees here, and this right here is 11x minus 9. Okay, so let's solve for x, the same instructions as before. So what we're going to do first is apply the the angle sum property of quadrilaterals, okay? So if we add all the angles together, if you add all the interior angles of a quadrilateral is always 360. So let's start with the algebraic expression, 7x plus 17. And then the next algebraic expression, plus 11x minus 9. And then let's add the two constants, 115 plus 75. If we add these four angles together, guess what? We get 360 according to the angle sum property of quadrilaterals. Now let's solve this resulting algebraic equation. We're going to combine like terms on the left side. Let's combine the variables in terms of x of the first degree. 7x plus 11x is 18x. And then we're going to combine the constants next. 17 minus 9 plus 115 plus 75. All right, so we add all that together, combine those numbers. That's going to give us 198. That's equal 360. Okay, and now to get, let's get 18x by itself. Okay, the ultimate goal is to get x by itself. So we get rid of 198 first, which leaves us with 18x, and then we get rid of 18. So what we're going to do is we're going to subtract 198 from both sides of the equation. Alrighty, let's carry out the subtraction here. So we will have 18x. And then if you do the subtraction, you have borrow 1 from here, that's 5. 10 minus 8 is 2. And then borrow 1 from this 3, you have a 2. 15 minus 9 is 6. 2 minus 1 is 1. So we have 18x is equal to 162. Now to finish this off, we're just simply going to divide both sides of the equation by 18. And that will give us our final answer. X is equal to 9. Okay, bam. All right, so there goes the answer to question number 4. We're going to take a look at one more example and then give you an opportunity to try out some practice problems. Okay, so for question number 5, this one is a little bit involved. For this one, we're going to find the measure of angle V. So let's say this is V right here. V is 1 plus 47x. Okay, and then 95 degrees for U. UVW, W is 40x plus 3. And then T is 87. All right, so we want to find the measure of angle V. There are two parts to this problem, okay? So let's outline the steps so we don't get confused. Since we're looking for the measure of an angle and the angle is dependent on a variable, we have to first of all find what that variable is, okay? So you find x, that's the first step, and then secondly, we're going to use x to find the measure of angle V. All right, so two parts of this problem. All right, let's do part 1. Let's find what x is first, and then we'll go from there. So to find x, we're going to use the angle sum property of quadrilaterals. The sum of these four angles is 360. Okay, so let's outline the algebraic expression angle measures first. 1 plus 47x plus 40x plus 3 plus 9, and then let's write down the constants, plus 95 plus 87. If you add all this together, you get 360 degrees. Okay. All right, so let's solve this resulting algebraic equation. Combine like terms. Let's deal with the constants, for the variables first. Variable in terms of x of first degree. We can combine those two together. 47x plus 40x is 87x. And then let's go ahead and combine the constants. 1 plus 3 plus 95 plus 87. So if you carry out the calculation, you get 186. So plus 186 equals 360. All right, so to get x by itself, we're going to carry out two steps. We're going to subtract 186 and then divide by 87. Okay, let's do this. So you subtract 186 from both sides of the equation. Carry out that subtraction. and then you get 87x. All right, so now do the subtraction. 360 minus 186. So this is a 10. Borrow 1 from that, so this is 5. Because you can't subtract 6 from 0. 10 minus 6 is 4. 5, you can't subtract 8 from 5, so you borrow 1. 15 minus 8 was 7, and then 2 minus 1 is 1. Bam. All right. Final step, to get x by itself, divide both sides by 87. Divide by 87, divide by 87. And then you get your final answer, x is equal to, so if you double 87, you get 174. So x is equal to 2. Okay? So are we done with this problem? The answer is no, absolutely not. Remember, step 1 was to find x. There's still step 2, so let's do step 2. Step 2 is to find, we're going to use x to find the measure of angle V. Okay, using x equals 2. So what is the measure of angle B? The measure of angle V is equal to 1 plus 47x. And we know that x is equal to 2. So how do we use this information we have to find the measure of angle V? We're just going to take this value of 2 and substitute it into the x. Okay? So the measure of angle V is going to be 1 plus 47 times 2. Alright, so to simplify this, we're going to use our order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay? So you multiply first before you add. So 1 plus 47 times 2 is 94. And then if you add those two together, 95. So the measure of angle V is 95 degrees. Alrighty? Okay, now it's your turn. It's now your turn to do some practice problems. Alright, so for question number 1 to 4, we're going to have you solve for x. And then for number 5, you're going to find the measure of angle E. Okay? So go ahead and pause the video presentation at this time. We'd like you to attack these 4 problems. These 5 problems. And when you're done, click on the playback button. We will reveal what the correct answers are. All right, so let's do this. Alrighty, welcome back. Hopefully you had a chance to try the practice problems. Let's take a look at what the answers are. For number 1, the answer is x equals 75. For number 2, x is equal to 115. For number 3, x is equal to 6. For number 4, x is equal to 5. And for number 5, the measure of angle E, is equal to 110 degrees. All right, ladies and gentlemen, how well did you do on these practice problems? Let's know in the comment section below what your score was. Or if you have any questions about these practice problems or what we went over in the tutorial, just let us know what your questions are, and we'll be more than glad to assist. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this presentation. Please help support the progress of our channel by giving our channel a like or a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe for updates to other presentations such as this. And for tons of support resources to help you do well in geometry, do visit our website at Mathgotservedcom/geometry. Thanks again for watching and have a wonderful day.